Yeah, that's even better. So how do we do that? Well, we're going to read from Nectar of Devotion, chapter 13, 5 potent forms of devotional service. Rupa Goswami has stated that 5 kinds of devotional activities, namely residing in Mathura, worshipping the deity of the Lord, reciting Srimad Bhagavatam, serving a devotee, and chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, are so potent that a small attachment for any one of these 5 items can arouse devotional ecstasy even in a neophyte. Wow. So Rupa Goswami here is giving the key. He's giving the secret. How do you become advanced? If you have some taste, if you have a little attachment. Attachment requires taste. Like if I'm attached to a particular dish because I like the flavor, I like the taste. So yeah, I love that. I like that tomato soup that you made today. That's really good. I don't know why, it just appeals to my taste. See, there's no reason for taste. Taste is something that comes from inside. Oh, I like this, I like that. So if you have a taste, spontaneous taste, for the residing in Mathura, worshipping the deity, reciting Srimad Bhagavatam, serving a devotee, or chanting Mahamantra, then this is very fortunate. This will take you home. Regarding worship of the form of the Lord or deity, Rupa Goswami has written the following verse. My dear friend, if you still have any desire to enjoy the company of your friends within this material world, then don't look upon the form of Krishna, who is standing on the bank of Keshi Ghat, a bathing place in Vrindavan. He is known as Govinda, and his eyes are very enchanting. He is playing upon his flute, and on his head there is a peacock feather, and his whole body is illuminated by the moonlight in the sky. Now, what a nice scene. Huh? Yeah, so if you really, really want to enjoy this material world, don't go searching out Krishna. That'll ruin everything. The purport of this verse is that if someone becomes attached to the Sri Murti, or the deity of Krishna, by worshipping at home, then he will forget his relationships of so-called friendship, love, and society. Thus it is that the duty of every householder to install the deity of the Lord at home and to begin the process of worshipping along with all of his family members. This will save everyone from such unwanted activities as going to clubs, cinemas, and dancing parties, smoking, drinking, etc. All such nonsense will be forgotten if one stresses the worship of the deities at home. Now try to understand. Why do people do all these nonsense things? They're bored. They have time on their hands. But if you start to worship the deity, you'll quickly find that the different ceremonies and different procedures of worship are a bit time-consuming. We're just worshiping the minimum. We make a little offering at lunchtime. We don't eat breakfast usually. And then in the evening we have our arti ceremony. We don't even do arti during the day, but yet we're fully engaged because we're serving the deity by spreading his glories all over the world. That's our main service. So we spend a lot of time preaching. That's also a kind of deity worship. Rupa Goswami further writes, My dear foolish friend, I think that you have already heard some of the auspicious Srimad Bhagavatam, which decries seeking results of fruitive activities, economic development, and liberation. I think that now it is certain that gradually the verses of the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam describing the pastimes of the Lord will enter your ears and go into your heart. So everyone in this material world is foolish. We're all fools. That's why we're here. We wouldn't be here unless we were fools. So the process of devotional service is how to stop being a fool and how to get out of this material world, how to go back to the original spiritual world and spiritual identity. In the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that unless one has the ability to throw out, just like garbage, the fruitive results of ritualistic ceremonies, economic development, and becoming one with the Supreme, or salvation, or liberation, one cannot understand Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam deals exclusively with devotional service. Only one who studies Srimad Bhagavatam in the spirit of renunciation can understand the pastimes of the Lord which are described in the 10th canto. In other words, one should not try to understand the topics of the 10th canto, such as the Rasa Leela, love dance, unless he has spontaneous attraction for Srimad Bhagavatam. One must be situated in pure devotional service before he can relish Srimad Bhagavatam as it is. See, for example, in India, there are people who go around and they recite Srimad Bhagavatam as a professional engagement. They get paid and everything for this. And usually, to save time, they skip over all those troublesome first 9 cantos and they just go direct to the 10th canto, which is the pastimes of the Lord. Now, the problem with this is that, as stated in the first canto, that you can't understand Srimad Bhagavatam unless you are a pure devotee. And these people aren't pure devotees. So they really need to hear this. It's a warning. It says that don't try to relish the pastimes of the Lord unless you're a pure devotee. You won't get it. You will misunderstand. You will think that these are some kind of material activities, and then who knows, you may even try to imitate and so on. Uh-oh. Big trouble. So the first 9 cantos are there to gradually train us in devotional service so that we can understand the significance of Krishna's pastimes in the 10th canto. Or as Srila Prabhupada describes, this Srimad Bhagavatam is ontological education. And one has to go through the categories given in the first 9 cantos before he can relish the substance that's in the 10th canto. This is ontological language. Categories and substances. When you have an ontology is simply a bunch of categories that describe different substances and their relationships among those substances. And it says right in the 2nd canto that these the subject of transcendence is described as 3 transcendental substances, known as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Okay? So if you don't understand these 3 substances, all the qualities, all the different manifestations, the activities, and the interactions between these 3 transcendental substances and the whole class of related substances which are called the energies of the Lord. If you don't understand this very complex science, then you will never be able to understand the Lord's pastimes in the 10th canto. You will take it as an ordinary story or something like that. Somehow you'll misunderstand. You won't understand exactly that this is the absolute truth, enjoying his energies, which he has every right to do, but only he has the right to do. See? He is on a fundamentally different ontological platform than we are. So we can't imitate him. And if we try, it becomes sinful activities. So, read Srimad Bhagavatam from the beginning. Don't read the end first. That's bad. Very bad for your spiritual life. In the above 2 verses of Rupa Goswami, there are some metaphorical analogies that indirectly condemn the association of materialistic society, friendship, and love. People are generally attracted to society, friendship, and love, and they make elaborate arrangements and strong endeavors to develop these material contaminations. Wonderful. But To see the Sri Murtis of Radha and Krishna is to forget such endeavors for material association. Rupa Goswami composed his verse in such a way that he was seemingly praising the material association of friendship and love, and was condemning the audience of Sri Murti or Govinda. This metaphorical analogy is constructed in such a way that things which seem to be praised are condemned, and things which are to be condemned are praised. The actual import of the verse is that one must see the form of Govinda if one at all wants to forget the nonsense of material friendship, love, and society. In other words, it's sarcasm. Do you really want all of this material nonsense? Well, fine. Then don't go see the deity of the Lord. And just go right ahead on with all your stupid nonsense. Because once you see